Hi, Dream Girls. I used to think being soft made me weak, especially as a very alpha, independent woman. I thought it made me weak until I realized softness actually saved me. In this chapter, we're talking about embracing softness, not just a vibe, but as a survival tool. You need to romanticize your life. And what I mean by romanticizing your life is finding beauty in the ordinary. I found beauty in the struggle very easy in college. So finding beauty in the ordinary things that you do is romanticizing your life. So in today's world, reframing softness from weakness to power. Softness is strength. The world encourages you to be hard to survive, that you gotta be tough, it's hard out here, but not necessarily. I'm a very strong woman, and I thought a lot of times I have to constantly speak to get my voice heard, and not just like in a calm way, in a very aggressive way, in a yelling and screaming. A lot of times I felt like I was in a room and I'm screaming so loud and no one could hear me. I felt like I had to be aggressive, like I couldn't wear my heart on my sleeve. And any time where I disagreed with something, I was considered emotional, even though I wasn't even being soft or emotional. But what I learned was I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna speak what I have to speak, and if you choose to take it, you choose to take it. And if you don't choose to take it, you don't choose to take it. And I receive more when I just decide to fall back, when I just decide not to yell, not to scream, not to go back and forth, because I set my femininity and I set in my softness and I got more done. I feel like my voice was heard, even though it wasn't even being spoken. It was just like, she's not saying nothing. Okay, she said this, maybe we should pay attention to this. When I learned to be soft and sit in my femininity, it was viewed as strength. It was viewed as emotional control of the situation. Your body is just like an alarm system. It's an emotional alarm system. Your nervous system responds to the things that you have going on in your day-to-day life. So what I mean by that, right? So when you constantly hustle and you go at something so hard, you experience burnout, you experience fatigue, you experience numbness. Just like the movie Click, you're just going on rotation over and over and over again because you're numb, because you're not being soft, you're not taking care of yourself. Your nervous system responds in that way. The butterfly feelings, it's not like a feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. It's your nervous system saying that, hey, this is a red flag. Like I used to get those butterflies. I don't get them as much as anymore, but I used to get butterflies so much, and something bad happened. And I'm like, dang, I didn't realize it until it was too late. Your nervous system lets you know when things not going the right way that it's supposed to go. You just have to listen to your body. Learning how to be gentle with myself is what healed and what helped me stay grounded. Like I had a lot of goals, but I'm able to stay humble and stay grounded and stay grateful for the things that I do have rather than the things that I don't have, because I started becoming more softer and becoming more taking care of me and filling up my cup rather than everybody else's cup. I'm the person that's gonna go out my way to get somebody a gift and they haven't got me a gift ever, and I've been getting them a gift for like 15 years. I don't do it because it's transactional. I do it because I care. But the fact is, like, nobody thinks of you that way, right? And then when I stop, going so far out my way for everybody, responding the way that I respond, it healed me in so many different ways. I used to ignore how tired I was, and I would still go to work 12 to 13 hours, sometimes stay late in the benefit of the business rather than my own self. And then when I come home, I would just go straight to sleep. I didn't romanticize my everything shower. I didn't nourish my body and eat dinner. I didn't take care. I didn't comfort my dog because, dogs are very loving and they want to be all over you. I neglected so much of myself for the hustle, for the grind, for the stress, and my body needed nourishment. I had dark eyes. I was losing weight. I couldn't keep on weight. I barely ate. I was on the energy drink. When I started taking care of myself, that's when my power truly came. Like, how can you work and do all this thing and you still taking care of yourself? No. A lot of people want you to fail and they want you to be tired and they want you to be stressed out all the time. Romanticizing your life, like a personal routine of mine, is tea time. I have ran out of tea, but tea time is something that I actually like. I love tea. I love matcha too. When I make me a matcha, it's just something that fills my heart. That is the sacred thing in my routine. Matcha or tea. You gotta find something that you actually like and you actually enjoy. And when you take a sip or when you do that thing, it just calms you completely. Or doing my skincare in the morning and having that whole routine and peace and quiet, or I'm watching a show or I'm watching a movie. That is something that I romanticize. Like, I am getting my skin clean or just sitting at my makeup vanity and just doing my makeup. And I'm having me time. No interruptions. I'm doing exactly what I want to do. It just makes me so happy. These aren't just little tasks that I mark off a to-do list. It is something that reminds me that I deserve peace every single day. You really don't know how peaceful you are, or you take peace for granted until you experience a life without no peace. Constant noise, constant people, constant interruptions. When you have those moments to enjoy the peace and quiet or enjoy your routine, you will be so thankful. You deserve peace. Those are the things that remind me that I have peace. I am 100% grateful for. Look at your daily habits and then you turn them into love letters for yourself. You deserve calmness. You deserve peace. You deserve softness. And you deserve to live a life full of romanticizing. Soft structure over hustle culture. Now, this one, it took a minute because I am 100% a hustler culture. I have worked more than one job. I have worked 3 jobs at one point. I have worked 4 jobs at one point. I went to school so many times because I always have to have something going on because I feel like I'm not doing enough, right? So you should want to rest your body. When I was working all these jobs, I constantly faced burnout. I constantly neglect myself. I always used to say, like, I'm making all this money, but I never have time to spend it. I order clothes online, or I might get a second to take for myself, but then I feel guilty for taking a second for myself. I remember I worked at Texas Roadhouse and I was a server. I was working a double and my feet was hurting so bad. And I was like, I'm gonna take a break. I took an hour break too. I went to the nail salon and I got my toes done in my dirty Texas Roadhouse clothes. And I just got a pedicure and white toes. I fell complete asleep in the chair because I neglected myself so much that taking this one moment for me, and that's when I end up resting because I never end up resting. But I was so happy that I took that moment because I still end up making bank that night. It's the fact that I chose me in that moment. A lot of times we hustle rather than you supposed to trust yourself. Self-trust over force and burnout. I have been burnt out so many times, and it's a lot of times where I don't get on YouTube for y'all. I don't make videos for y'all. Y'all don't see me for the next couple of months because I'm over here trying to be more rather than self-trusting myself and self-trusting my audience that I create content that aligns with people or that aligns with me. What I stopped doing was being a yes man. Like, I don't have the bandwidth. I don't have the capacity to deal with this right now. That's became my favorite phrase because I was definitely a yes man. Yes, I'll do it. Yes, I'll do it. I'll be the one to do it. I'll take on so many different projects in the work life so that I can be the best that I can be. I would burn out myself. I would come in on my days off. I would stay late. I would come in early. And I'm constantly burning myself out for the hustle culture. I stopped doing that. I just completely stopped. And I have gotten more respect for myself by doing that. Like, I feel more at peace. I can breathe. Everything flow. I enjoy the silence. Like, I'm not feeling guilty anymore for not showing up for every single body or doing every single thing or over hustling or burning out myself and experience constant fatigue on top of the hormonal imbalance that I have going on. I replaced it with rest and breathing and silence, and I enjoy my peace. Nothing means more to me right now than being more at peace. Having a routine, having structure, everything can still be soft. It's not chaotic. It's intentional care. So you are not behind. You're not lazy. You don't have to earn your soft. Being still does not mean you're stagnant. You're not stagnant. You're just resting, but you can't stay there for too long. Do not stay there for too long. Softness is your birthright, not a reward for doing everything perfectly, because no one's perfect. No one's gonna do anything perfect. You're learning how to live in peace. Share with me one small thing you do every single day to feel loved. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on the channel. Watch the other Dream Girl Diaries chapter. So I will see y'all in the next video.
And though my heart can't take no more, I keep on